Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, children of all ages of all ages, as we sit on this day, this Tuesday, get yourselves ready for a little flight as we fly through the friendly skies of sports today, giving you a little NBA love, giving you a little NFL love, giving you the college football bracket. And by the time we're done, you can put your chairs back in the upright position. Make sure your food trays are up. Get ready to land with us on this beautiful day called the Tuesday Night Flight. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Midnight Rider. The big guy in the red hat is the gentleman Jack. The other guy, the big guy KG. He's going to be your host. Actually, he'll be your pilot tonight, taking you on this flight on Tuesday night.
Good evening and welcome aboard. Always remember that your seat can be used as a flotation device in case of a wet landing. Don't run away, come back, baby. Shout out to Prince, international lover. Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
Doing good, baby.
Good. Welcome to the hippest trip in America. That's not Soul Train. This is the one that's in the air. This is the Tuesday night flight. Man, we got a lot to get into. I say we just go ahead and start it off. The boss BJ will be joining us later on. Let's get this thing going. First up, Embiid suspended for making contact with a media member. Midnight Rider, you put this out there. You broke this news amongst us. What was the details of this suspension? And Jack, you said you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the details are simple. It was 3 games that he suspended for. I mean, the incident was something, I can't remember if it was over the weekend or late last week, but basically he and the guy Michael Haynes got into it. Haynes had written a piece talking, I guess, basically questioning Embiid. And I think it did hit some places where he probably shouldn't have gone. By being an experienced NBA guy, he probably should have left his brother and his kid out of it and left it more to, but he didn't. So I felt like as a man, Embiid probably wasn't wrong for it. But you also got to set an example. What you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, the media been hounding them since the season started, I feel. But you start pushing around and not giving interviews and stuff like that, suspensions usually follow. So, these players got an obligation as part of this organization that they got to deal with these interviews and these reporters. You can't just go off pushing, hitting, whatever might have happened there.
I agree. Now you can't get physical with the media. Also, certain things are off limits. And talking about deceased loved ones of players, these players got feelings too. These players are human beings. Watch what you say. Don't hit below the belt. Keep it on the hardwood, keep it on the field, keep it on the ice, keep it on the diamond. Don't hit below the belt like that. And that kind of reminds me of the same situation with Stephen A. Smith and Kevin Durant. The jostling that's going back and forth online and in the media about, oh, don't say this to me and don't talk to me. Who are you? And this, bruh, let it go.
Yeah. No, I remember it happening late in Pete Rose's career. The media would just hound him. And then when the gambling incident aired, then he was up Shit's Creek. But, there's been many athletes that you've seen that just don't have the best relationship with the media. And sometimes it's the media's fault. Sometimes it's the athlete's fault. And this time, I believe it's Embiid. You don't lay your hands on people. consequences.
Agreed.
So I disagree just a little bit, just because of the nature of his comments. And I think we also saw Trayvon Diggs have a little incident as well, where he was getting into it with a media member. I think sometimes you, as a media person, you gotta be sensitive to people's plights, and you can't touch certain hot buttons. Like if you want to talk about me, you can talk about me all you want. The second you start reaching into my personal life, I think there should be a cutoff, and there should be a spot where, it's like, hey, that's just a no-go. But I do believe that putting your hands on him is where he went wrong.
Yeah, just leave the interview as it is. If you're upset that much that you want to get violent, just leave. I'm sure folks been taught that their whole life. You don't have to throw the hands up. Just leave.
Agreed. We are joined by the boss, BJ.
Chomping on a cheeseburger. Look at him.
I wish it was a cheese. I had one earlier. I had a steak burger earlier. It was pretty good.
How?
With Junior, I see Junior head pop over there.
Yeah.
There you go.
He can't hear y'all because I got the earpiece in. But he
well, ask him what time the club open, man. Because we got some stuff to get delivered. We need to know what time the club open.
Well, he can't tell time just yet, so it's going to be a random time. But I'm sure with a couple night owls here, we'll be available. Trust me.
I hope so, man. I can't wait to come party with him.
One of them things, Midnight Rider can attest. One of them things you wake up, let me go to Club Butt Cheeks. It's 3:45. I ain't going back. So let me go ahead and go to Club Butt Cheeks.
Club Butt Cheeks. Wow.
Hey, Midnight Rider, your Insomnia series got a new home. It's gonna be at Club Butt Cheeks.
Butt Cheeks, baby.
Got a new home. You want to hear the Midnight Riders Insomnia series? I guarantee you. Well, it wouldn't be the Midnight Riders Insomnia series because the hat gets turned around a different way. The voice changes. He gets his Love Me Sexy on, and it's the Fat Poets Insomnia series.
That deep Barry White, baby.
Nah, that's because I'm still trying to wake up. I can't go to sleep. Goodness gracious.
I saw you at 3 a.m. the other night.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you can't go to sleep. You might as well be productive because you're just gonna sit there and toss and turn all night and thinking about what ifs and when that then you might as well. Hey, let me chop something up.
James King said every star athlete needs a goon, someone to smack the shit out of median that try to cope with there. Pay bail, go from there. All right, John Chaney, you need a goon, a guy on the end of the bench. That's what you need. You need a goon.
You know the crazy thing with this Embiid thing, this is just frustration spilling over from all the flack he's getting from not playing, which is warranted. As like Shaq said, man, there's no way you talking about not playing back-to-backs and stuff, and now you got two guys on the team that, even if they play, they're not winning the championship with Embiid and Paul George. It's just not going to happen. But it's just frustration spilling out, and I think this is probably going to be. I don't know. They might have to find a new home for Embiid. I think the Philadelphia soup is too hot for him. They might find someplace else where he can, get a fresh start. Kind of like the Karl Anthony Towns, Randall situation. Just give him a new start. Philly, it's just too hot in Philly for him. And then they're going to start booing him. You know how the Philly fans are. And it's deserved.
The process ain't do nothing.
Not a thing.
Agreed. Next up. Rapid fire. NFL trade deadline. Damn, it's been so active. You would think it was NBA. I'm gonna rattle off a couple.
Well, we said it. I said that last show. I said it's gonna be popping like fireworks here in this next week, and it did.
Yeah. Starting from the top, the Niners received Khalil Davis, defensive tackle from Houston, in exchange for a 2026 7th round pick. Baltimore gets Tre'Davious White and a 27 7th round pick. Los Angeles got a 26 7th round pick. Steelers get Preston Smith for a 7th round pick and 25. They also get Mike Williams from the Jets for a 25 5th round pick. Washington gets Marshawn Lattimore and a 25 fifth round pick for a third, a fourth, and a sixth round pick in 25. Cowboys add Jonathan Mingo and a 2025 seventh round pick for a fourth round pick.
For a fourth?
A fourth.
For Wingo.
Yeah. For Mingo, yeah.
Uh.
Cincinnati gets running back Khalil Herbert from Chicago for a seventh round pick. Zadarius Smith and a seventh round pick go to Detroit for a fifth and sixth round pick. The fifth is in 25, the sixth is in 26. Cardinals get Baron Browning from Denver for a 25 sixth round pick. Minnesota gets tackle Cam Robinson and a conditional seventh round pick in 2026 for a conditional fifth round pick in 2026. The Ravens again, this is back on 29th. We talked about it. Deontay Johnson for a sixth round and a sixth round pick for a fifth round pick. Gentlemen, out of the deals that were done today, which one? Give me your good deal and give me your bad deal.
Ooh, can I go first?
Please.
Start with the Midnight Rider and go to the Gentleman Jack and then finish up with the Boss BJ.
The good deal, because I know somebody else will say the other one, so I'll say this one as the good deal. The good deal was Detroit getting Zadarius Smith, getting them a pass rusher to replace the output and the impact of Aiden Hutchinson.
Take that off my list.
The worst deal is easily giving up a fourth round pick for Jonathan Mingo. That means
Cowboy.
Jonathan Mingo is worth more than DeAndre Hopkins. And this man has one catch and like 3 yards or something crazy like that. So, I mean, you tell me. I don't get that one. I mean,
I see what you're saying, but he's a young ball player that wasn't getting much attention over there in Carolina. And if you're not getting attention in Carolina, shorty, something wrong. But some of these guys get a breath of fresh air. They can turn their shit around. He's still young. It's only, his second year, I think.
Yep.
So, I agree with you now that Cowboys got raked on that. But I like the Cam Robinson to the Vikings, left tackle with the injuries to the Vikings line. That's a big pickup. Vikings are going in the right direction. He's played all 92 games in his 8-year career. So looks like you got durability out of this guy. So I think a good pickup here at the deadline was Cam Robinson going to the Vikings. What you got, DJ?
Is Dak hurt for Cowboys?
Yes.
Is Dak hurt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it serious? Because I keep getting conflicting reports.
His feelings are hurt.
We know that.
He on the injury reserve because his feelings is hurt.
He pulled his hamstring.
He told Shorty, we fucking suck.
He did.
I didn't like dropping the F-bomb. Apologize, Mom, if you listen.
No. We the sideline junkies. We drop whatever we want to drop.
Yeah, but my mama's get mad at me.
Yeah. Look, here's what I got. It doesn't matter. I said this on the Sunday Rise. It doesn't. You can eat whatever you want. It doesn't matter what the Cowboys. The Cowboys are finished. Our Cowboys are going to win a couple of meaningless games the rest of the year. The Cowboys have to decide if they're going to go ahead and tank and go into a full rebuild and do their version of the process. It's nothing the Cowboys. That is just a absolute shit show from top to bottom. Like I said, Dak is good enough where they can, and they still got CeeDee Lamb where they might pop off a win or two. It just doesn't matter what the Cowboys do. Now, I'm conflicted because the Commanders get Marshawn Lattimore. And, we talk about the Commanders a lot on this podcast. And I talked about Dan Quinn being a defensive guy and tweaking until he could find. But now you get a corner that could possibly shut down a half of the field. That's going to make a big difference because he's one of those guys where you have to know where he is. And you might not – sometimes it just takes that hesitation to want to throw to that side that cause disruption. I think that's a big pickup for the Commanders. and it's going to move some people around in that DB depth chart. Trust me. Detroit gets Zadarius Smith, really good pickup. You don't replace Aiden Hutchinson. He's just one of those guys you can't. He's a game changer. He can take over a game, but it's a very good pickup because we saw Detroit go to work in Green Bay, and they just look like Detroit. They look like, next man up type thing. They're really, I think that's our only hope to take down Kansas City. I really think that. Now, here's my dark horses, the Steelers. What was the receiver the Steelers got?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
Look, I think the Steelers are, and I said, Detroit is our only hope. I think the Steelers are going to cause some problems in the AFC going forward. The Steelers are really well built, and we're coming to the halfway point where you get Russell Wilson back, right? And I know what Justin Fields brings to the table, the running and everything, but you get a pure passer. He also has some legs with him too. Now you get a receiver to add to George Pickens, and you still got T.J. Watt on the other side, which absolutely he can take over games. I think I want to say the Commanders won because of where the Commanders are and what they needed on defense. But I really think that's the Steelers' division to win now. I really think that, and I really think that the Steelers might have a chance to knock off the Chiefs. They just because of TJ Watt, and once Russ gets going and able to get some continuity and some reps with Mike Williams, we're looking at a different Pittsburgh team. They're leading the division. Am I correct? I think they're number one in the AFC North right now. So Baltimore, got to fight up. And I think Baltimore is going to make it, whether it be winning division or wild card. But you kind of see some separation in the AFC when you look at the standings. You can tell Houston. I know Houston is waiting for some people to come back off injury. I think they'll be in it too. But the other teams just aren't. They just don't have enough to go with the top teams in the AFC. Nobody's going to beat Kansas City. Go ahead, Midnight Rider. What you got?
No, I just want to jump in because you're right. So Steelers are 6-2, Ravens are 6-3. Some of that is, just mechanics of one team having to buy, another team not.
Yeah,
it's a half game.
But it's just like who expected? I mean, we've heard nothing from the Steelers. Like as far as media, you wouldn't expect them to sit in at 6-2. If I had to guess, and I wouldn't watch football, I would say the Steelers are 3-4 or something like that. They are in a position to win that division. Like I said, you get Russ back at a good time. He doesn't. I mean, he hasn't knocked the rust off. You're not teaching Russell Wilson how to pass or what the playbook is. He knows what he's doing, and I think with him, Pittsburgh, they can get the ball on the ground running. I think that's going to be a sleeper team come later in the season.
But I had something to add on Cam Robinson, the tackle we were talking about. He came to Minnesota Tuesday or Wednesday, and he suited up and started Sunday and got a game ball. That's got. I mean, they said he got so emotional and whatnot. That's got to be nuts to come to a new organization. He came from where? Jacksonville, I believe.
Yeah.
Come from Scrubville to maybe Contenderville and then get a game ball in your first game. You ain't been with the squad for 3 days. It's got to be great to feel the love like he did that night. So, yeah, he's been picked up 3 days, and he was on the field Sunday. So I'm very impressed with Cam Robinson.
Sometimes that's all it takes, man, is a change of scenery, get into an organization that do things the right way, that acknowledges you, that appreciates you, and, puts you in a position to make plays wherever you are on the field. And it's a lot of these teams that we watch Sunday in and out, and it's just like, what are y'all doing on the field? Like that's y'all can't be practicing. It really looks like that with some of the teams. Like y'all can't be practicing all week and then come out here on Sunday and look like y'all forgot how to play football. I was going to drop an F-bomb, but I'm not going to do that. It's mad. It's not maddening, but it's just like head scratching sometimes to watch some of these teams. But like I said, you see the AFC separation. My Bills, they got a tough stretch of games. I think it's Chiefs, Rams, Detroit. They got a tough stretch of games. People talking about them wrapping up the AFC East. And hold on a second, it ain't that easy. They got some games ahead of them where they're gonna get tested. But their lead in the AFC East is like they could probably wrap that up week 12, week 13, and be done with that. And then what from there? I don't know if that's going to hurt them trying to rest players and stuff. You still got to play ball. I think that's a dangerous situation for Buffalo.
Well, I'll agree with that. Pretty much probably everybody here. I think the Cowboys were the biggest loser. And this is just as a fan of football. This has nothing to do with rivalry. I think the Cowboys are the biggest loser because you lost out on Saquon, you lost out on Derrick Henry, you lost out on DeAndre Hopkins. These are players that you need. You lost out on all of these players because the price was too high. But you gave up a 4th round pick for a cat with 1 catch and 3 yards. I don't give a damn how young he is. You gave up a 4th round pick for 1 catch and 3 yards.
I mean, do anybody think if they had got Derrick Henry, they would be in the same position?
I don't.
They got
think
DeAndre Hopkins. That's dysfunction. That's a lame duck coach and Mike McCarthy sitting there. He's lost that locker room. They don't want to hear what he's saying. They can have Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins. They might be plus a game. They would be in the same situation.
I think they'd be up a little bit more than that, just because you can lay your head on the running game itself to hide the deficiencies in the passing game, and you can also use that to keep the ball away from teams that's trying to run the football down your throat. So I think it becomes your offense becomes your best defense to save your defense from itself. Because the way the Cowboys defense is built upon them getting the lead and then basically pass rushing you to death or making their pass rush basically exploit your faults. So that's how I see that.
And I disagree with that because the guy that ran that is in Washington now. That defense don't have that identity anymore. The guy that had that defense playing like that is running Washington's team now. And like you have Dak Prescott might be at the point where Sam Darnold was, where he's seeing ghosts. Like that if the ball, it doesn't matter. We can go back to the blueprint of Tennessee when all they had was Derrick Henry. Eventually, don't get me wrong, he's Derrick Henry, he's King Henry. He's gonna pop off some runs. But if you don't respect somebody's passing game, 8-9 in the box, you run on that, you show me you can pass. And if I'm playing Dallas and they got Derrick Henry, you prove to me you can get the ball to CeeDee Lamb. You're going to get the ball to Derrick Henry and try to keep it, that's fine. We're going to come up in the box. We're going to stop that. And then we're just going to wait for Dak to throw us the ball so we can go the other way for 6. That's how I would keep that.
And I'll say this. And I wanted to ask you gentlemen this real quick so we can move on. I think we can't fully erase it, but we can start to make it fade out a little bit. That old adage that once running backs get to a certain shelf life, they're done. Because look at the resurgence of Derrick Henry, who Tennessee thought was done. The resurgence of Saquon Barkley. The resurgence of Joe Mixon.
Those aren't resurgences.
I don't think so either.
You don't. Okay, Saquon in New York his last season.
Dude, you keep trying to hold on to this running back thing, and the thing is,
but I'm asking the question.
I'm answering your question. I'm about to answer your question.
But okay.
No, I just think for every one of these Derrick Henry Mixons, some of these guys are the outliers because they're in the right situations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Mixon goes to the Texans where they got to run the ball. They got to force this because right now they can't pass block to save their lives. So CJ Stroud is out there and all you hear the tackle, instead of the tackle blocking, all he yelling is, "Watch out!" So,
damn it, Donald.
Yeah, duck. My bad. So go ahead.
Let me back up what I'm saying. When I say there's a resurgence with Saquon, 14 games last year with New York, 247 carries, 962 yards, 3.9 yards a carry. Longest run was 36 yards, 6 touchdowns.
I just laid out that scenario. That's all you got. You gonna play 5, 6, 7 yards back and you're scared of Daniel Jones? No, absolutely not.
But
he goes somewhere where they actually have offense, and you still have to worry about Jalen Hurts running the ball. You still have to worry about Brown and whoever else is on that squad. They have a better offensive line, better team, better scheme, better coaching. So when you could put Walter Payton last year on New York, he had the same numbers. They are that bad, and you have I'm telling if you're playing Daniel Jones and Madden, and they got Saquon Barkley back there, who you game planning for?
I'm game planning for Saquon, but don't act like Danny Dimes not gonna run out the back door.
I'll take my chances with him running out the back door because that's not going to be a consistent thing. I'll take my chance because if we got 8-9 in the box anyway, he might pop a 50, 60-yard run. I'll take my chances on Daniel Jones. I'm not going to take my chances on Saquon. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take my chances on Saquon Barkley getting passes out the backfield. He's going to be locked up. I'm sorry, KG. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Finishing the thought. That was his stats last year with the Giants, the full season. Missed 3 games. He's played 8 games this year, 157 carries, 925 yards, 5.9 yards a carry. His longest run is 65, and he already has 6 touchdowns. He's going to surpass last year's numbers before the end of the season. Okay? That's why I called it a resurgence. Because last year was a down year, bad team or not. Sometimes great running backs have great years on bad teams. That's all I'm saying. Derrick Henry was plagued with injuries last year. Joe Mixon plagued with injuries. These guys are balling out right now. That's why I say, hey, maybe it's time we kind of let that old adage, go to fade just a little. Don't erase it, but fade it out a little bit. Just
and I think Tennessee. Tennessee did Derrick Henry. They knew they wasn't going to go anywhere. They didn't want to spend the money on Derrick Henry. One, they didn't want to spend the money. 2, they knew that Derrick Henry's one of those guys got on the team like, look, we not going nowhere. You do your thing, go where you want to go, that type of thing. And I think that's kind of what it was like a mercy thing. Just go ahead. We done here. We don't have no quarterback. We got rid of Mike Vrabel. We shouldn't have. You're free to go.
All right. Couple of comments real quick.
I know with ESPN now, everybody's seen that damn spin move by Saquon yesterday, or I should say Sunday. Yeah, now, I watched that live, boy. Saquon said, "Woo woo, woo woo." Dude, to see it live, it blew my mind. To see it on Sports Center and on highlights, it was different. But man, me and my wife both saw it. That spin move, you seen it, Midnight Rider, didn't you?
I didn't. Can you reenact it again?
The spin move? Say, woo. Oh, my bad.
I love it. I love it.
He said, woo woo. Nice.
Couple of comments real quick. We were talking about the media first segment. James King said, I'm still sensitive about my brother 25 years later. Yeah. Media tried too much to become the story instead of reporting on players. That is true. We were talking about the Cowboys and how they lost this trade deadline. Long live Jerry Jones. I pray he never dies.
Me and him both.
Cowboys continue to turn shit into even more shit, is what Jack Wagner said. And Dak is going on the IR. Cowboys are done.
I don't know.
Jack also says Ravens pick up Deontay Johnson. We were talking about that. I think that's going to be a good impact. Another weapon for Lamar. James King said Stroud has gotten big-headed to me. Don't like the body language.
Ain't a big head. That's a banged up body.
I think the same things happened to Stroud. They're having several young quarterbacks that had early success. There's tape out there on him now. Teams can game plan for him better with the film they got.
Collins.
His offensive line stinks.
But he does need his receivers back.
He does need receivers back. I can't remember which one of you guys said it. I don't know if it was a Gentleman Jack or Midnight Rider, but the thing with the Ravens it don't matter who they get. When y'all get to the playoffs, is Lamar going to drop back 40 times and not run the ball? Are y'all going to run with Derrick Henry? These are the things that you have quite. It don't matter they could have got DeAndre Hopkins. What is y'all game plan going to be week one? Because y'all not getting the bye. Kansas City getting the bye, barring a miracle. So when y'all go into the wild card and y'all home, are y'all going to run Derrick Henry 25 times or y'all going to run him 7 times? Is Lamar going to drop back 27 times and pass and have wide open gaps where he can just run for 20 yards and he's just going to pass the ball? That's the question with the Raiders. It don't matter who they get. Their questions are, what are y'all going to do in the playoffs differently? Because y'all got the squad. Y'all had the squad last year and squandered it.
Well, the way their offense has been operating this year, the run is what gets them the best results. So if I'm the OC or if I'm the head coach over at the Ravens, of course I want to go into the playoffs. Same thing that gave me the success through the season. And that's a good dose of Derrick Henry and then bring in the passing game when it's available. So that's clear cut to me. Let's see what happens. They didn't, last year they sure as hell changed their whole game plan. What was that, Kansas City, I believe? Who they lose to last year?
Yeah,
Kansas City.
Kansas City changed the whole game plan. It wasn't the Ravens offense we saw. It was Lamar it was weird. They was taking Lamar out of the pocket too much. So, yeah, I think the Ravens should continue to just – the first thing you're doing is giving everybody a scoop of Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. Then you got a couple teaspoons of Jackson, and then you got a little bit of Andrews, then you got a little bit of Likely. They got to open the passing game up with Henry. And that makes the Ravens a strong offensive team, man.
Jack Wagner said Joe Mixon is a baller.
Yes, sir.
And, that was the most asinine thing for the Cowboys not to try to sign Derrick Henry. Nothing makes that decision sound right. Best move of the year by Saquon Barkley. I think Jack's move was better. Ravens should run Derrick Henry until his legs fall off. Hey, that's what Derrick Henry wants.
You got to save him for the playoffs. You got to because when you get to the playoffs. You want that ball in his hand 20 times, at least 20 times, at the least 20. I don't care if it's 87 yards, 20 times. Y'all come up, and if you running that offense right, y'all come up so we can hit you over the top, or Lamar can bootleg out and take off. I'm telling you, it's the recipe is there. They just gotta get the ingredients. They just got to get the right pot.
You're right. He's got to run a minimum of 20 times. And I don't care if he's only got 5 yards on his first 10 carries. My man going to break one. You keep pushing him behind them big-ass tackles Baltimore's got, he going to get one. So, yeah, you can't stop running them.
Yep. Agreed. And Jack Wagner said everything feeds off the run. That is absolutely true. Getting into week 9, the Lions beat the Packers 24-14. Sorry, JoJo. Jared Goff, 18-22. 145 and a touchdown. David Montgomery, 17 carries, 73 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches, 56 yards and a touchdown. On the Green Bay side, Jordan Love, 39, 273 and an INT. Josh Jacobs, 13 carries, 95 yards. Jaden Reed, 5 catches, 113 yards. Gentlemen, quickly, what you think about this game?
The Lions, as I said, they did exactly what I thought. I thought the score would be a little bit more, but they dominated that game. It's nothing more. They went in Lambeau and had the cheese graters. That's pretty. They proved to us who they are. I told you they can play any style of ball, any weather. That's the Lions, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
I think that's what Sunday was about. Sunday was about personifying the fact that they're like Burger King. You can have it your way. They'll give it to you any which way you want it. You just tell them how, and they're going to produce for you. And I think they had like a bunch of weather in this game, and they went through all the different weather fronts and proceeded to lay the smackdown on the Packers.
Nope, definitely sounds right. Rainy day, ugly day. A lot of drop passes, a lot of bad, poorly thrown balls. The ball was slick, but Detroit did what they needed to do and pounded the ground game like we were all talking about the other day. And the boy for Green Bay, Jordan Love, he's still in the right place. Green Bay, you don't want to count him out still. So Detroit did what they needed to do on a messy day at Lambeau.
Indeed, they did. Big shout out to Detroit because they just keep rolling. Talking about Derrick Henry, yes, you are not going to contain Derrick Henry for the whole game, is what Jack Wagner say. Matty Ice checking in. The only team that can beat Detroit is Detroit. Detroit's in kneecap biting mode right now. That's what they doing. They biting kneecaps and they're doing it very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I say if you give coaches chances, and I think what's this Dan Campbell's third year? Is it third or fourth year? I can't remember.
I
don't know.
I guess this is why Midnight Rider doesn't believe in giving coaches 5 years. Because it doesn't take 5 years. Because Dan Campbell, look at what he's doing. He's doing it in 3.
But look at what Dan Quinn's doing. Since you want to bring up old shit,
you gotta have the top two. You gotta have the GM that believes in you, and you're gonna hire the coach. You gotta be like, all right, I need this player. Got to go. This player got to go. This is my philosophy. I need these players. You can't get this coach and be like, hey, this is your team. This is what you're gonna do. It just don't work like that. When you got the GM that helps fit that style, this is what you get. You get to Detroit, you get to Washington on the up and up. And don't get me wrong, the quarterback is a big play. Washington wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for Jaden Daniels.
And all I'm gonna add to this is, KG, we said this on draft day when the Lions went and drafted Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. I told you that they have a type. They're trying to create an identity. Everybody else was going to say it's a reach. For them, this was their guy. This is what they wanted. This is who they wanted to be. They did the same thing instilling Brian Branch later on in the draft. So they identified their types. They got their types, and now they're living the best life.
Agree.
What you laughing at?
You, man.
Why?
And Jack Wagner
said, oh shit.
My chair slipped down, man.
Jack Wagner said Kansas City the only ones that could beat Detroit. Next game, Rams 26, Seahawks 20. That was in overtime. Had to take 5 quarters to win. Puka Nacua kicked out of this game at the end of the second half for throwing a punch. Thank you, Puka Nacua, because I lost to Jaden Lover, a.k.a. the Midnight Rider, because you didn't catch a daggone pass in the second half.
You did.
To throw a punch. You messed up my whole entire season.
Yeah, you did.
Think about this. Hold on, let me throw some stats out there. Sheesh, I'm all messed up. Matthew Stafford, 25 of 44, 298, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Kyron Williams, 22 carries, 69 yards. Cooper Kupp doing Cooper Kupp things, 11 catches, 104. Geno Smith, 21 of 34, 363, 3 touchdowns, but 3 picks. Kenneth Walker, 25 carries, 83 yards. The dude that killed me put a knife in my heart and then twisted it counterclockwise. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 7 catches, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Thank you for your
service. In a losing effort, the wide receiver that was a game changer in this game is Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson, 6 catches, 94 yards, 2 touchdowns. I know Kupp was balling out there, but Robinson was getting the deep balls. He averaged 15 yards a catch. Stafford was on point. Stafford threw for 298. You know how I know he only threw for 298?
Because you had a bet for him to go over 300.
Because I needed 300. Thanks, Matt. But man, 298. Cha-ching. Nope. So yeah, I think Demarcus Robinson was the guy that really helped win this game for the Rams. Seattle, kudos to you. You guys gave it a shot. I didn't think you would. And Geno, shit, he threw what? 350, 310.
363.
How many picks?
Three.
Yeah.
3 and 3.
We talked about this game. I thought the Rams would probably handle them a little bit better. I was surprised Seattle tried to keep it a game.
Me too.
And it's just like I said, Geno's going downhill. I think he might be on that Trevor Lawrence bin where he's just pressing too hard to do things and not kind of letting it come to him. But I mean, like Jack said, kudos to the Seahawks for trying to make it a game. But I just didn't think they had enough with the Rams with Nakua and Cooper Kupp back and to even keep up. Once Matty got his toys back, it's on. The Rams, you gotta be careful. And then we'll get to that later. But yeah, the Rams, look out for the Rams, man.
They do this every year. They struggle early sometimes. They got to find themselves, and then once they find themselves, it's like hot grease. And that's what they cooking with. They cooking with hot grease right now. I think they're going to start their little run, and I think it's between them right now. It's between them and Arizona until the 49ers show that the 49ers are still the 49ers. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. That's going to be one of the better races going down the stretch, because I think you're going to have three teams vying for two spots, one being Division I and the other being a wild card.
Agreed. And Jack Wagner said, and Robinson caught the game winner. Yeah, he did.
So
Matty Ice said he put up 190 on Sunday.
Matty Ice always put up higher scores. He ain't put up no 190 on me, though. Lucky son of a gun.
I
don't want him.
I want to say that the record in the league is 2. I got to look what the record is. I think it's 2 something.
Yeah, it's on the page. You can go to and see the trophies and all that. Yeah, it's in the 200s.
Next game was the Monday night game. In this game, a lot of controversy. Buccaneers go down in overtime to the Chiefs 30-24. A false start was not called, which set the Chiefs up for.
It's never called. They do it. They play that way every game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's at this point that's just what they do. And the refs, this is one of them things where, it's just what the Chiefs do.
Diane Ferris.
I really thought the Buccaneers would have a chance to beat them, and they came close. They played a good game, but it's just like we keep saying, Andy Reid, step ahead, step above, and you got Patrick Mahomes. It's a lethal combination.
Let's just get this here out in the open right now. It's been on TV all day. It was on TV all last night. Should Tampa Bay have gone for 2? I want to hear what you three think. Go ahead, Midnight Rod.
I'm going for 2 every day and all day on Sunday.
I know you gambling, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
See, he's going for 2 if he's a coach, but it's going to be a timeout because he got to put his bet in. Timeout, Buccaneers. We got to go commercial break, and he get a signal to his man up top.
Get his bet in on the coin toss.
Get that bet in on the coin toss. Nah, I mean, look. If you go for 2, you're a genius. If you don't, you play. I'm good with what they did. Because like I said, I like the Buccaneers offense. Baker's playing very well. So if Baker gets the ball back, I think the Buccaneers win. I think if they get the ball, the Buccaneers go down and score a touchdown, they win. But that didn't happen that way.
Did you see Baker on the coin toss?
Absolutely. He already knew.
Yeah. You try to hold your poise and not do that, man. Damn, he was like,
not Baker. Baker's not gonna hold his poise. That's what Baker.
No,
does.
he's not.
Yeah,
he's not.
Right. Baker's emotional, so he's gonna show that.
With this one, Baker Mayfield 23-31, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes 34, 44, 291, and 3 touchdowns. Bucky Irvin for the Bucks 7 carries, 24 yards, and Cade Otton 8 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Kelce had 14 catches, 100 yards, and Kareem Hunt 27 carries, 106 yards, and a touchdown.
It seemed like every time they threw to Kelce, he was wide open.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say about you say what?
So that's what happens when you have D-Hop on the outside. You take away
Yeah.
some of that extra coverage you was getting. That's it.
Yeah.
Jack Wagner says Kansas City could go undefeated. I think they'll take a game off though. There's
Kansas
nobody in
City-
their division to beat them. Somebody's going to beat them. I don't know who. I have to look at the rest of their schedule.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know right here. Kansas City still got the Bills coming up November 17th. That could
Where's that game at?
in Buffalo.
They might have a chance.
And then they're gonna walk over the Panthers. They're gonna walk over over the Raiders. Then they got the Chargers second week of December. Then they got the Texans. Then they got the Steelers and the Broncos. So there's 3 or 4 games there I think still left where they can be beat. But
and don't put the Raiders out. The Raiders.
That's what I was just getting ready to say.
Yeah, don't put the Raiders out of them because the Raiders and Antonio Pierce, sometimes they come on their high horse.
The Raiders and the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos got a nice defense.
Y'all must be channeling y'all in Michaels because I don't believe in miracles on this one. The state of the Raiders right now is that they gone. You got to just go ahead and I know some of us got kids. It's that frozen, let it go. You gotta let the Raiders go for this year because that ship has sailed. They got Cancun reservations already being made. If you go in the locker room right now, you probably see Cancun flyers in the locker room, on the lockers on the wall.
You
Now Jack Wagner said, and now they got D-Hop. I mean, sometimes I feel like if you've ever seen probably one of the greatest sports movies of all time, in my opinion, probably the greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time, that is Space Jam. If you remember when Michael Jordan was playing in the minors and the catcher was like, don't worry about it, I get you another one, Mike. Don't swing. That's what I feel like when I watch the Kansas City Chiefs play. Oh, y'all threw it incomplete. Don't worry about it. Don't swing. That's how I feel when I watch them play. If this team goes undefeated, and I'm talking wire to wire, even winning the Super Bowl, they go, what would that be? That would be 20-0? Because you'll have 17 games plus the divisional, the Super Bowl, and the championship. That'd be 20-0. Greatest team of all time, possibly. But I think it'll be tainted.
Never mind. I don't even want to ask.
Yeah, stop.
The same way the 18-0 of the New England Patriots was tainted.
How was the New England Patriots tainted?
Oh, they had a lot of cheating going on down there.
Deflategate.
There it is. I knew BJ just walked right into the fire pit.
So did.
Oh man, Jack Wagner said Raiders can't find anyone consistent to play quarterback though. That's because they haven't called my phone yet. But that's
I'm about to say they need to hit my line. No passes over 12 yards, but I got y'all.
Yeah.
I'm throwing everything on a frozen rope. So that'll be one thing Patrick Mahomes will have over Brady. Yeah, he'll finish the story. Let's just call it what it is. He'll finish the story.
Yeah,
man.
Call my line, Kansas City. I'm going to give you those Buffalo Trent Edwards numbers. I'm going to be 49 for 50, 70 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Wait, are we talking Trent Edwards before the Adrian Wilson hit?
After the Adrian Wilson hit. That's why I said 49 of 50, 70 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Jesus.
Where we at now? Buffalo game?
And Broncos.
Oh,
Broncos, man. They just the wheels fell off of this.
Yeah, Ravens win 41-10. Broncos. Bo Nix, 19 of 33, 223 and an interception. Javonte Williams, 12 carries, 42 yards. Cortland Sutton, 7 catches, 122. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 16 of 19, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns. Don't ever tell me he can't pass in the pocket. Derrick Henry, 23 carries, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers, 5 receptions, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Gentlemen, as you talk about this game, do you think Sean Payton lasts after this season?
He's a fraud. I've said he's a fraud. I wanted to know what he yelled about this week. Remember he yelled about was it Sutton that dropped the touchdown when they played. Did they play the Panthers? Like, whoever they played had a problem with it because they felt like they were trying to run up the score.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Panthers.
Panthers and Sean Payton was yelling. I think it was Sutton, Cortland Sutton, that came off the sideline and dropped that pass. He was yelling. I want to know what he had to yell about this time. 41-10. Like I said, like they wanted him so bad. So just to sit back and watch this fraud at work is just beautiful.
I mean, he's got all the time in the world because of what BJ just said. Because they sought him out, they went to get him. You got to give this 2 more years. You got to let this figure itself out, and you got to let him make himself unemployable. I don't know if that's a word, but that's what we're gonna go with.
He got to kick a kicker like Urban Meyer.
Yeah, he got an Urban Meyer and be in the club somewhere with a chick in his lap. That's the only way this stays under this amount of time, because you put too many resources into it. You tried the Russ experiment, it failed. You went and got Bo Nix, his baby Drew Brees, and right now it's hit or miss. But part of that's because he is not letting this kid set himself up for success. They don't run Javonte. Is it Javonte Williams, the kid from North Carolina?
Yeah.
They don't run him enough. Like there's just holes in this thing, and I think some of it is because he's so busy trying to show you the world how smart he is. He got like that Aaron Rodgers complex.
He got the Al Sanders 900-page play.
Yeah.
But his is 1,300.
I think Peyton will be there next year, though. I don't think he's going nowhere. And to have Bo Nix under him for a second year can't do nothing but help Nix, in my opinion. I'm not against Coach Peyton myself. I think he has a structure in mind that he wants to instill, and it takes a while to get that into the whole team. Baltimore did what they needed. The game plan Baltimore ran against Denver, that is Baltimore Ravens offense right there, clear cut. 25 for Derrick Henry. Lamar does not need it, though, no more than 20 or 25 passes. And, likely Flowers, who I think is better than likely, finally doing some things that Zay Flowers is supposed to do. They got high hopes on him, man. And he hasn't really showed it yet.
All right, I agree with the gentleman. No qualms from me. Going into the next game, this one right here was a nail biter, a barn burner, and this shouldn't have been, but it was. The Buffalo Bills win late, 30-27 over the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, number one.
So
don't do that. Don't do that. Never mind. Don't do that.
Jack. Please don't, Jack. Please don't.
What? That's the Miami Dolphins fight song.
Yeah, I know it is. Somebody else sings that song.
Oh my goodness.
Tua Tagovailoa.
It's the Houston Oilers, Jack. But the history maker will tell you that it was a Miami Dolphins song first, and then the Houston Oilers did their version or stole whatever it is.
It's gay.
Oh my!
Whatever Jack had tonight, have it every night.
Oh God!
Tua Tagovailoa, 25 of 28, 231 and 2 touchdowns. Devon Achane, 20 carries, 12 carries, 63 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, only 4 catches, 80 yards. For the Bills, Josh Allen, 25 of 39, 235, 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. James Cook, 10 carries, 44 yards. And Ray Davis, 2 catches, 70 yards and a touchdown. And on the final play, because Tua would have had 250. He'd had over 250. And they threw a pass, and they ran backwards. Jalen Waddle ran backwards 24 yards.
And shout out to Greg Rousseau for chasing him down.
Damn.
Waddle saw who that was and was like, I just need to get back to open space to get away from it. And Russo was like, "That's not gonna work. I'm too quick for that." That's
Mhm.
shout out to him for that, man. Look, it's a divisional game.
Whoa,
You said it was.
whoa! What are you doing? This is
I was
your
gonna go.
team.
I was gonna let you look. I was gonna let you guys go. I was gonna yap my yap.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna be long. I'm not gonna be long. But here's the thing, and I just got one thing to say. Tyler Bass has went through a lot. They brought kickers in. He's been super inconsistent. When they lined him up for a 61-yard, I'm like, what are they doing? That's out of his range. Like, what are we doing here? This man not only hit the 61-yarder, he put all his frustration from missing that kick in Kansas City, in Buffalo last year in the playoffs. That ball probably had another 10 yards on it. And
They showed him hitting from 60 feet in practice. I mean, from 60 yards.
he always hits from 60 in practice.
I understand.
But usually hit. They don't line about 55 is where they usually line him up at. So I don't know. I can't remember if he was with the wind or whatever. But that ball had some distance on it. Something that worried me in the Devon A-Chain number is not. It doesn't show the true tell of the tape. They were gashing Buffalo on the ground in the first half of the game. Buffalo tightened up a little bit, but that Mike McDaniel's offense was clicking. That's his style. Get those guys into open space, and the open space was wide open. Buffalo had no answers for that. I don't know why. I know Buffalo tried to tighten it up, but I would have just kept doing that if I was the Dolphins. Just get your 8s, get your 6, 7 yard, keep moving the ball. And I think they fell into Buffalo hands as far as, kind of playing Buffalo's way. And it worked out for Buffalo. Then no Amari Cooper. James Cook didn't really get off. Ray Davis did a hell of a job. And Buffalo just keeps finding different people to do things. And I still say they still haven't put a game together where you can say, besides Khalil Shakir being Josh's favorite target, you haven't seen a game where they put it all together. All the weapons, you've seen a James Cook dominate a game. You've seen Khalil Shakir. You haven't seen Curtis Samuel is still what's Curtis Samuel numbers? KG, did he have a catch? They went and got him, and you would think, that was one of McDermott's boys in Carolina. Like, he is just non-existent. I thought they would move him at the trade deadline and make some room in the receiver room. What you got his numbers, KG?
Yes, sir.
Who you looking for?
Curtis Samuel had the
0.
0?
0.
Yep. 0 catches, 0 yards, and 0 touchdowns.
Man,
yeah, I don't.
Jack was the Buffalo fan. The way he said 0.
Yeah, I just don't, because he has his niche. Curtis Samuel's niche is the same thing that Miami does with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. He get him in his space, get him the ball, let him move and shake, because he got some wheels on him, and it's like Josh isn't looking for. I don't know what that's about, but
I think they need to get Keon in the game more.
But if you look at the what you call him, because the thing was, why did you pass on the what's the boy in Kansas City, the fast receiver that they drafted, that Buffalo passed on? He actually has Worthy. He actually has tad bit better numbers than Worthy. Doesn't look like it because he's not explosive as Worthy, but I think Coleman's coming into his own, and he got plenty of time to kind of find more of a rhythm. But I like what I see though. But good win for the Bills.
Worthy didn't get any passes last night either.
He had one, but that deep pass to the left, he stepped out of bounds.
Right.
Yep.
He got a 0 across the board too.
Yeah.
But I just think that Keon Coleman should be more in Buffalo's game plan. I mean, the pass he got Sunday was a 21-yard pass play. So that's somebody I thought would be more involved. I know he's young.
Midnight Ride?
Oh, yeah. We also got a Blue Magic guarantee that was called on this game by the big man over there. Your Blue Magic guarantee was 2 defensive touchdowns by the Buffalo. We got to make a penalty for people to call Blue Magic and don't get it.
Hey, it ain't my fault they couldn't get it right. They
Nah,
still
you called it. If you call it, you got
right.
it.
Now, what was the line on this game, Jack? You got the line written down. What was the over-under? Over-under was 47.5, wasn't it?
Buffalo.
That sounds right.
I do have it. I just got so much stuff written on here. I
I'm
can't
trying.
see it.
I'm not trying to confirm that. And
It
you know,
was
get my-
Miami 2.5, 2.5.
Well, Miami was plus 2.5, and the over-under was 47.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's just call that what it is. Midnight Rider, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I do not have the over under on here.
No, my thoughts are simple. Miami does Miami shit, and I think Miami got to find a way to be tougher. Because if they don't develop any level of toughness, all this speed, the smoke and mirrors, all the gravitas of your passing game and your fast running backs, it's going to lead you out to fail, because they just can't get the necessary yards when they need them. They can't make the necessary plays. Part of it's to it. I said it before the season, before we got to the postseason. I was like, I think they should. I mean, not postseason. I'm sorry. Before we got to the draft, I thought they were a team that should have moved up to try to get Penix, because you get a stronger arm, left-handed guy that can make plays and make you more dangerous. Unfortunately, Tua just, I mean, he makes you better, but he doesn't make you dynamic. He doesn't make you great because the arm is too limited.
And I agree with you 100%. I think when you game plan, you're game planning not to let Waddle and Hill behind you. You're not necessarily game planning to Tua's going to hit them in stride going down the seam, because like you said, the arm isn't strong enough to do that. So it's like Buffalo's playing too high. As long as we keep those guys behind it, you can throw whatever you want underneath. So, and I was just about to ask you, when you say tougher, do they need to get some bigger, more mauling offensive linemen? You know what? You know, we know
Their team need a big back. Like, I know we got the A chains. Like, the problem is when you keep sending speed and speed and speed, but it all looks the same. There's no change. There's no change up. Like, you done sent me Mostert, who runs 180 miles per hour. I mean, he's probably 24 miles per hour on his little tracker. You send me A-Chain. He's 23 miles per hour on the tractor. You got Jalen Simpson with the kid from Florida. He's probably 23. Like, there's nobody that's just like, when you gotta get into tough yard situation, who gonna thump? You know what I'm saying? Like, they would have been a perfect team for a guy like the kid Austin Estemick from Notre Dame. They just need a thug running back that's going to just like pop your pads and make you feel bad about your life every now and then.
Because he a thug, nasty thug.
You stupid.
Jack Wagner said it really sucked for Tua because he can make all the plays, but he just can't stay healthy. Tua's like that. That's what his little brother.
You know what would be a perfect receiver for Tua? A Cooper Kupp or a Puka Nacua. Someone that can his arm can catch up with that person. And I think what Midnight Rider saying, what Mike McDaniel had, is no changeup. You don't have that guy that can eat the middle of the field, that can work the sidelines. You were looking for these guys to catch and take it to the house, take it to the house. And just like we was talking about earlier with putting 9 in the box for Derrick Henry, Buffalo has the defense worked out. They'd rather give you, and I think that's part of the reason why A-Chain was gashing him. We're going to play a shell defense where you're not going to get behind us. You're not going to get behind us. We're taking certain things away. We're going to make you do this, slow you down, because you running the ball. That's not what they really want to do. They want to be quick. They want to hit you. So the gashing is cool. And like I said, I think Miami wants to do more than what they can and what they should. And if they had a bruising back, that would definitely be. They need to call Larry Zonka's cousin or nephew or something, and just bring him in and be like, look, this is what we need. We don't need you to talk. Just put this jersey on, put your head down, lower your shoulder, and get these 2 or 3 yards. I know the big guy would like that. I know he would like that.
Give it to Zonka.
Miami's all lightning. I've never heard of a lightning backfield, but that's what Miami got.
Well, I mean, shall I say it?
Go ahead.
They need a little thump and grind.
Yes, but Jim Kick is not walking through that door.
Oh, here we go.
Zonka's not walking through that door. Mercury Morris is not walking through that door.
I blame BJ for this.
You got to go get somebody, but they're not going to do it.
I blame BJ.
Jack Wagner says A-Chain is a beast. Yeah, he is, but they need that power. They need that in between the tackles guy. Now, to this beautiful one right here. I've been saving this. I had this up earlier. I just love it.
Had the whole crowd screaming out, "We want Tyler!" Those haters can't stand us. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders.
It feels good to be 7-2, but the Giants are just so good. 27-22, Washington wins. Jaden Daniels, 15-22, 209 and 2 touchdowns. Chris Rodriguez filling in for B-Rob, 11 carries, 52 yards. What you call him, the pass interference god? Noah Brown? The PIG?
Yep.
5 catches. 5 catches, 60 yards. On the Giants side, Danny Dimes, 20-26, 174 and 2 touchdowns. Tyrone Tracy, 16 carries, 66 yards. Malik Neighbors, 9 catches, 59 yards. I'll let you guys take this. One thing I got to say, you can't let Daniel Jones look this damn good. Because if you just look at the stat line, not look at the score, 20 or 26, 174 and 2 touchdowns, that's a pretty damn good game for Danny Dimes. I'm sorry.
It wasn't Daniel Jones that hurt us. It was the running game that hurt us. They were getting too many big chunk plays on the running play, guys. I mean, you got Tracy had 16 carries for 66 yards. That's 4.1. Daniel Jones, 7.7. Slayton broke 1 for 11. Singletary was averaging 5 a carry. I mean, you don't want your opponent running backs averaging 5-6 yards a carry, man. That's a first down every 2 runs. So I don't think the passing game from New York, because this game, we should have hung 40 on them. Washington should have hung 40 on New York, but we didn't. So, the first time I've had a little shake my head on some play calls, but I feel Terry McLaurin, I know he had 2 touchdown catches. I know he did. His total yardage for the day was 19 yards, 2 TDs, and only 2 receptions for the day. You got to get McLaurin the ball more. I don't care what Noah Brown's doing. Noah Brown's not the leading receiver for this team. I don't know. Offense looked different this time. Guys?
No, man, I think the problem, I think there wasn't a problem with the offense. I think New York, I think the defense decided, hey, we'll take away Malik Neighbors, and this week he can't get his 10 for 141 on us. But you're going to have a running game. And then the second they got up, I think this team decided, all right, we're going to show you what we can do. So we got up, it was 7-0, then was 7-7, 14-7. Oh, you think we're going to just run the clock out? Oh, hell no. 21-7. And let me stop there. I think the one thing that people who were disgruntled about the way this team practiced and set this team up was they didn't understand what they were doing. This team in the preseason and in training camp, they kept pushing and showing and putting the emphasis on the 2-minute drill. And now their 2-minute drill is one of the best 2-minute drills in the league.
It is nice.
And they get up the field. They get points before the half. So it makes it even more important because when they get those points and they come out of the half, they can steal some other points. This week it didn't happen, but that's their key. That's their thing. And I just think I don't worry about their play calling because I think they call a good game. I think some of it's just execution. And I'm not gonna sit here and like bash what they do because they set everything up in the right way. Could they have gotten 40 possibly, but we didn't need 40 because you'd have had 34. I mean, if we want to be sticklers about it, you'd have had 34 if they just decided to run the ball into the end zone on that last drive.
No.
So you wouldn't have been too far from 40. You know, like that's the other part of this. But I think they're at a point where there's still a couple hiccups away, but I mean that's still learning curves, and you don't have your thumper. You didn't have Robinson.
Need B-Rob back, no doubt.
I think if you had Robinson, I think this game goes a little bit differently because just the way he attacks when he runs the football. Go ahead, B.
I'm not going to go into the game play. I'm going to go into what I was saying, and I think. Like I said, we know Jaden Daniels makes a hell of a difference. But I think if this is the Commanders team last year, this is the score is the opposite. They find a way to lose this game, and they've done that with the Giants the last couple of years. And I said, you're going to see them finally break the chains off the Giants where they're not. And it's a division game, just like Buffalo and the Dolphins. These teams know each other. They know what they want to do, what they want to run. They're familiar with each other. So you're going to get games like this. And, you know, like the Midnight Rider said, it's still hiccups with the Commanders. This could have been a 34-22. This could have been a more dominant game. And I've said that a couple times on some other games they've had where they've left some touchdowns on the board and the score could have been high. And they're just working through the kinks of, you know, getting through things. But this is a different team. They're finding a way to win now. And, you know, people going to say, oh, they haven't beat anybody. They're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat to be in the position they're in. KG, you there?
Yes, sir. I am here.
What's their next 4 games?
Washington Commanders.
It should be Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys, Titans.
Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys, Titans.
Your next 2 games are your tests. Because I just raved about Pittsburgh. Your is that in Pittsburgh and Washington?
That's in Washington.
That's going to be your next test. Pittsburgh is a very, very sneaky good team. That's going to be your next test. And of course, the division with the Eagles. You know, the Eagles are still, you know, even though the Commanders are leading the division, the Eagles are still like, this is our division. We're gonna have to come out here and prove it. You got your 2 tests the next 2 weeks. So everybody, you know, kind of sit back. We're going to see how they game plan, what they call, like I said, TJ Watt and that Steelers defense, a tall task. And, you know, we'll see what happens. But the next 2 weeks are your tests. We'll grade them on that.
No doubt. In the next 3, I mean, don't shake Dallas off just because they're on a down year, man. Once that game starts, it's always 0-0, man.
What week is that Dallas game?
Dallas game's Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving Sunday.
That's about. Remember what I was talking about Buffalo with Miami.
Sorry,
can't have Sunday before Thanksgiving. It's Cowboy game.
40-13. We ain't even there yet. 40-13 Washington.
Washington has their bye week right there too, don't they?
Nah, their bye week not till week 14.
Oh, I thought it was 12.
They get 6 points because the water boy accidentally steps on the field when he was supposed to be picking something up and runs the ball in. 40-13.
Let's not forget, we're going to have the return of Kirk Cousins, too.
That's going to be another game. Yeah, that's going to be another game.
On the 29th of December.
But guess what you got?
I hope everybody shows Kirk Cousins some love when he comes back. I hope there ain't a bunch of boo birds because he wouldn't have deserved that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Washington didn't want to pay the man, so he went and got paid.
Something you're going to have starting next week that you didn't have is Marshawn Lattimore. And that's going to make a world of difference. I'm telling you, it's going to make a world of difference. He's going to have to get acclimated to how they want him to play. But hopefully, like I always say, you bring the player and you let him play his style versus trying to play. And I think Dan Quinn's good at that, trying to Put him in and let him play his style of ball.
Lattimore's a ball hawk. I
Yes,
think
sir.
he's got 18 to 20 interceptions in 7-year career. That's not bad. It can make our other backs stronger and fresher. You know, you can have a little rotation even maybe. Or, you know, when you throw the nickel backs out there, somebody it definitely adds to the defense.
I just wanted to say something. BJ said and he has 15 interceptions throughout during his career. 15.
Who's that?
Marshawn Lattimore. He has
Oh, that's
15
all.
in the regular season, and in the postseason he has another 2.
Okay, I must have seen his total. I knew it was 17, 18.
So something BJ said, and then I'll address something else. You say you got to let a player come in and play how they play. This is a new dawn, a new day. I'll say yes. In the past, I would have said no, because I would have brung up so many people from the past and coming in and letting them play the way that they play. Josh Norman was one. I never wanted to sign the dude. I thought he was a bum before he got here, and I still think he's a bum. I only play left side. No, dude, if you're a number one corner, you take on the number one receiver. You follow him. If he goes in the slot, you go in the slot, Jagaloon. But
I think that was a lazy narrative. No offense.
What you mean?
I think he wasn't the travel corner. So stop. I think the problem that this franchise had in before was it goes back to that meme from, I think it's from Finding Nemo, when the birds are on the thing and every time something gets dropped, it's
Mike?
like mine.
Mine.
I think that was the problem, and you even heard it during the stretch, like, oh, we should go get this receiver, or we should go get this person. Like, let's stop chasing names, stop chasing waterfalls.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like, it's a thing about the people and the people you go get, and just because the person has a name doesn't mean that's the person that should always be the target. And that's the only thing I worry about with this.
I'll say this.
Hey, you know today's November 5th, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Election day. What is it?
That's not election day.
What's the 5th one, y'all?
I'll say it
It's
later.
my parents' anniversary.
Mm.
Jaden Daniels, rookie of the year, is what Jack Wagner said.
He been saying that since week 1 too.
Yeah.
And he a Cowboy fan.
My
Guess he gotta have something to watch.
Hey, BJ. B. Hey, B. It's November 5th.
What's November 5th?
Mm.
it-
Something happened on the 4th.
yeah. Yeah. I dig it. I caught on to it. Yeah.
I'm lost. I just had a knock at it. Just had a scary knock at the door, so I'm
Oh,
kind of trying to catch up.
It's
You
all
kicking
good.
your door down?
Nah, that was the fire department asking us if we smell gas, and they in their full ride gear. That's why I'm like, oh,
Shoot.
hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
Come on in.
Yeah,
Check
come on
the
in,
shit.
baby. Come on in.
You smell good.
Something I want to put out there, and I just want to say this. I was in Buffalo Wild. I think I left you guys this message. I was in Buffalo Wild Wings on Sunday, and a Giants fan came in and he looked up at the TV. Said, "Yeah, we get ready to fold this dumbass quarterback up. I hope they knock him out the game." And it's Giant fans, Cowboy fans, Bears fans, and Ravens fans that have a problem with us winning. Why you mad, son?
Been a long time.
Ravens fans don't have a problem. They don't. Ravens fans do
Okay,
not care
select
about why.
Ravens fans have a problem because it's
You
a
know,
particular.
no matter how much I don't or I dislike a team, I've never said, I hope this guy gets hurt or, somebody's on the ground and I hope he don't get up. I've never
Right.
said that. And I hear sports fans say stuff like that.
Yeah,
And it
I think
just
that's
tells
a
me how
good-
ignorant they are.
And
I'm watching the Buffalo Miami game, and every time Tua take it, I'm like, please get up, like please get up, man.
Yeah, I worry about that. I don't know why you ain't wearing a Guardian cap.
Because
don't
there are other
understand.
helmets that are just as safe or safer than a Guardian cap.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I was explaining the Guardian cap to my wife last night. Somebody was wearing it on who played last night?
If you wore your Guardian cap, you wouldn't have.
No, it was Tampa Bay game. It was the Tampa Bay game. Somebody had one on, and she was like, "What's that?" And I explained it to her, and then she goes, "Well, why don't they just make better padding inside the helmet?" So they do have another helmet that's just as safe as that, you say?
Yeah. So they have two helmets that players feel better or more comfortable about than a Guardian cap.
I'm about all y'all Guardian. We're gonna wear Guardian caps on the show.
I was hoping to have a segment on a show about that, because a lot of people don't know what the Guardian cap is, because there's only a handful of players wearing them in the league right now. And it's mostly linemen.
Big guy, I know we cut you off, big guy. What you got?
What you got, Chief?
I don't even remember where I was going with that.
I
don't even remember.
You were talking about fans of certain teams. Wishing people getting hurt.
Stop being haters, man. You hate because y'all ain't played nobody. I hope your quarterback get hurt. I was telling Dario a story of how I heard people complain about Robert Griffin III. That whole 2012 season, we were 3-6, and people were still, man, I hope he get hurt. I hope he get hurt. When he got hurt in the Baltimore game, I saw people cheer. When he got hurt in the Seattle game, it was people actually cheering, and the memes started coming out. They were all from Cowboy fans. When Tony Romo got hurt and he broke that bone in his back, the first thing I said was he has to have a life outside of football. He got to get back up, but he can't rush back. And I'm like, a lot of fans don't have any class anymore. Have some class, man. Don't get mad because we winning now, and all the years y'all was on top, y'all can rub that in our face. Now we kind of got something rolling. We're not rubbing it in your face. We just happy for a change.
Very happy. You're right.
Let us be looking happy.
It's so nice going out and about. Had an older gentleman come up to me. He said, "Now that's a real Washington hat." Had the same hat on. And we started talking about the Over the Hill gang and, the teams that wore this hat. And it's just fun to talk again in the area, in the community about Washington football, because for years, Mondays just sucked. You got guys like Jack Wagner here busting my chops, even though he ain't had a right to, being a Cowboy fan. What's the difference? You ain't done shit either. So, it's nice. It's very nice, again, to have a talk in the community about Washington football.
Jack Wagner said they have an extra shell you can add onto your helmet, and right to it is a walking injury. All right. Midnight Rider, give me the college football playoff bracket. Tell me what seeds what. Break it down for me, because it released at 7 p.m. tonight. It's 9:14. Give me some good news.
You don't have the graphic,
wow.
brother?
No, I could not find the graphic.
All right, here we go. Give me a second. All right, so here's some important things to remember about the bracket. The 5 highest ranked conference champions receive automatic bids. 4 highest ranked conference champions are seeded 1 through 4 and receive first round buys. 7 at-large teams determined by the remaining highest ranked teams. Seeds 5 through 8 host the first round games. So the first iteration of the college bracket, the second team out is Texas A&M. First team out, SMU. The 12 seed is Boise State. They play Ohio State. Here's where we get into that wrinkle where, even though Ohio State's ranked the number 2 team in the country, the highest they can be ranked, because of Oregon being the Big Ten, or the quote-unquote Big Ten champion, the highest they can be ranked is 5. The next part of the bracket, the 9 seed is Indiana, 8 seed is Tennessee. The 11th seed is Alabama. The 6th seed is Texas. Notre Dame is the 10. Penn State is the 7. So BYU is the 4. They would face the winner of Ohio State, Boise State. Oregon is 1. They face the winner of Indiana and Tennessee. Miami is 4. They would face the winner of Alabama, Texas. And Georgia is 2. And they face the winner of Penn State, Notre Dame. And then, of course, we'd go on and on from there. But again, the keys are the conference champions get the higher seeds. They're 1 through 4. And then the next highest conference seed based on their ranking gets placed in the midst of everybody else. Teams like Notre Dame can only be as high as 5 because they don't have a conference champion. and I'm sorry, Raleigh Leonard and company not getting any too much higher. So that's kind of where we are right now with this. I just threw myself off. I looked up and we're on the screen on my TV.
Oh man,
It's
I
gonna be
just had an
fun
inside joke to myself, but I'm good.
for yourself.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the whole kicker is the keys are the conference champions, the Power 5, and then depending on where they're ranked. So again, we're just talking about teams that if they're seated higher, or they may become a lower seed in the bracket because they didn't win the conference championship, not because of seeding or anything like this. This is a pure ranking system, not a seeding system.
Would you like to see any of those teams out? And I would like to see SMU get in, but
I think they will.
is there a particular team, Midnight Rider, that's in that first round that you particularly, maybe you could do without?
Do without. I don't like that one. I would say I'm more curious about BYU and Tennessee and seeing where they're gonna end up because BYU I think plays Utah this week.
Okay,
so that's gonna be a tough ball game for them. I think a team like Alabama, who still has LSU on the schedule, that could be an elimination game. Like we're gonna start getting into places where some of these games are gonna dictate the rankings more so than anything else. And I think we're going to be in for a better ending to college football, especially with the way the SEC and the Big Ten are set up. The only problem is we thought it was going to be more inclusive, but really it's not because all you're doing is giving room for more SEC teams and Big Ten teams to get in. You're not getting Cincinnati or, you know what I'm saying? Like Army's undefeated, but Army's got a terrible schedule. Like you're not getting some of those teams in, which is kind of what the thought process was.
Matty Ice threw out a challenge. It's a college football challenge. He said, "College football challenge for you guys. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. ESPNU, Kent State is on. I challenge you to see how much of it you can watch before you say, damn, this is awful. Will you accept my challenge?"
I gotta watch it because I got money against them. I'm going with what Maddie says, man. I'm going with the.
Thank God for Jack.
I'm giving up the point.
I'm no longer the big degenerate.
I'm going with that, man. I'm watching that Joker. Kent State football at its best.
Oh, no.
I thought about Matt when I put that in. I was like, he tells me, man, whatever the spread is, it's going to be higher than that. So.
All right. Quickly, gentlemen. College basketball has begun. Can I get a hallelujah?
Yes, it has.
Quick scores from yesterday. This is what I was talking about off air when I said we had top 25 matchups early in the season, which is something I don't understand.
I love it.
I love it. And where did it go? I just had it. You had Baylor versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga's number 6, Baylor's number 8. Gonzaga wins 101-63. UCLA beat Rider 85-50. UCLA's 22. Texas, number 19, Texas beat Ohio State 72-80. Arizona, number 10, 93-64 over Canisius. UNC at number 9 beat Elon 90-76. Number 2, Alabama beat UNC Asheville 110-54. Number 21, Florida beat South Florida 98-83. Marquette, number 18, Marquette beat Stony Brook 102-62. Number 24, Ole Miss beat LIU 90-60. Number 4, Houston beat Jackson State 97-40. Number 1, Kansas beat Howard 87-57. Number 5, Iowa State beat Mississippi Valley State 83-44. Number 7, Duke beat Maine 96-62. We already got a loss. We got an upset. Unranked UCF beat number 13 Texas A&M 64-61. Number 12 Tennessee beat Gardner-Webb 80-64. Number 20 Cincinnati beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 109-54. Number 23 Kentucky 103-62 over Wright State, and number 14 Purdue 90-73 over Texas A&M Community College. Don't forget Maryland. What's the young cat name? He had 20-20 in his debut. From Baltimore.
Yeah, 22 rebounds. Yeah, he went to St. Francis.
What is his name? I just had it pulled up in my
I
video.
got it. I just mentioned it the other day to my boy. His name's Queen. Last
Yes.
name's Queen.
Yes,
Is it like Derek Queen?
yes, Derek Queen.
He nice.
He is vicious.
And I don't think he played that many minutes to grab that 20-20, man.
That
Because
is
there's
the
a lot of
most.
guys got time in that game.
Yeah,
They play.
he set a quite a few records for just that performance alone.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody getting 20 rebounds from Maryland since the 70s. Buck Williams and shit.
I think Joe Smith had him a 20-20 game.
Who?
Joe
Joe
Smith.
Smith.
Okay. Good possibility. Early 2000s.
No, mid-90s.
Was it mid?
Early mid-90s. That Joe Smith was a part of the Maryland resurgence
Yeah, that's right. Joe's old. That's right.
because he was the number 1 pick in
He's
95.
younger than me. Yup.
Everybody's
Yeah.
on you, Jack.
Oh, shut up.
Here's a question before we get out of here. And I we talk about it a lot, but I see that a lot of teams, they schedule other ranked teams early in the season.
Oh,
Yes,
here
sir.
we go. The John Thompson. You guys schedule your cupcakes. You get yourself going early.
Nah.
You get play. You got like you some cupcakes.
I'm asking for clarification because I don't understand.
Let me.
That's
There's a
what I'm asking
couple.
for. You're shaming me because I don't understand. I feel attacked right now.
There's a
Right.
couple of squads that they go out there and play ranked teams. Like I said, Duke's playing 6 ranked teams in the first 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. That's the way you get ready, man. Playing Delaware State and House Without Walls and the girls' church. That ain't no damn getting you ready, man. Like we said in the previous show, you might as well just scrimmage your second squad. Play some better competition, make you strong. But can we're on this college basketball, and I know I love my college basketball. And did you read out the top? You read out the top 25?
Yes, sir.
Let me just say something about the top 10. You got, Kansas at number 1, Coach Bill Self. That damn roster's deep. Then Kansas is a very deep squad this year. And then Alabama, you got them up there. They fast. Jump shooting squad. But then you got to look for Dan Hurley's team, UConn Huskies. He was on this morning with Tank Top Guy. What's my boy's name?
Pat McAfee.
McAfee. He was on the show today, and he said, you come here to win championships. That's it. If you're not ready to win championships, don't come to UConn. Starts out, we want to win the Big East championship. We want to win this tournament championship. He says, we got it all drawn out. End of the year, we should win 5 championships. And I loved it. I could see that's his father in him talking. Big Bob Hurley, I believe that's his name as well. And I like UConn to 3P. And then you
asking
got
for it.
Iowa State. That's a scrappy. Houston at number 4. We got some Thigh Slammer Jammer Part 2 coming up. I don't know. We'll see if Houston can hang on to a top 5 position. And you got Duke at number 7. Coop made his debut Monday. I think he had 18 limited time. They played Cupcake that day. And then the Tar Heels coming up down the bottom. You got to always worry about them Tar Heels down the Tobacco Road and then Arizona as well. My teams I really think you need to watch is Texas. Texas got Coach Terry over there. They got a freshman named Trey Johnson. He's nasty at Texas. He had a good come-out game. And then Florida, Coach Todd Golden. He came from Auburn and San Francisco where he had winning teams. I think Florida's going to be a surprise. So pay attention to them 2 teams at the bottom of the top 25.
Just to step back real quick, the college football teams better take a page out of the college basketball. If you don't want the college football playoffs to be a Big Ten and SEC party, it better start scheduling some competition and some ranked teams to try to get into that party. Or else it's just going to be you're going to get the SEC, the Big Ten, and they're going to wipe the floor, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a Big Ten SEC championship for the national championship.
Might even get an SEC championship.
Or Big Ten. That's what you're going to get. You got to schedule some competition to make the wheel move. You can go 11-0, 12-0, but if you ain't played nobody, it don't matter.
Well, I guess that answers my question. So you got to play somebody to get somewhere. If you want to be somebody, and you want to go somewhere, you got to wake up and pay attention. Fellas, final thoughts before we get out of here, because we got to go. We are in overtime, and I don't know if the boss is paying for overtime. He might make that roll over to the next check.
Man, I stopped paying 37 minutes ago.
I think it's just we're at a point where sports are going to be sporting. I love the comments last night from Draymond talking about the Wizards, because those kids did battle last night. It seemed like every time that the Warriors wanted to pull away, they kept just jumping back in the ball game. Shout out to Keyshawn George. I'll get your name right sooner or later. Don't worry about it right now. You're still in the first couple weeks of the season. But Keyshawn George, Coulibaly, Jordan Poole is taking a better step from a leadership point of view.
I think so.
I think we just gotta go ahead and trade Kyle Kuzma now, and be done with it. Like, I don't think you need him in the mix. I think you need to let these kids play as much basketball as possible, and you live and die by whatever the results are.
Agreed.
I don't have anything.
I agree. Yeah, I agree too. No NBA on tonight. Everybody, a little bit of NHL action, and we got some college basketball on tonight. A little bit of college football. I think there's 2 games on the slate. So,
you ain't only promoting hockey because you got some bets going.
Yeah, I don't like betting on hockey, man, but I want to get something in with no NBA tonight. But yeah,
that's sweat going, bro.
Say what?
I said you got a little sweat going. That's what that is.
I do. And I already got my bets in for Saturday, dude. What are you talking about? And Saturday, Indiana versus Ohio State. Check it out. Look forward to talking about that on Thursday's show. So
I'll say this real quick.
Should be game of the week.
Make sure you tune into the Caps tomorrow as well as in the passenger seat, because in the passenger seat is at 8:00 tomorrow, but I think the Caps pay at 7:30. So watch that first, because they're wearing the throwback black Screaming Eagle jerseys. So
for those who don't know, we got Cardozo High School's own former head coach of Don Bosco, Cristo Rey, Frank Simpson, University of Marshall basketball player. He's gonna be our guest tomorrow. If you know, you know. If you don't know, come check us out and find out and learn a little information about Just a young dude that tried to do something dynamic in this area. And if it wasn't for administration, he might have gotten there.
Tomorrow,
Understand?
baby. Tomorrow night.
So for the night, that's the Gentleman Jack, the Boss BJ, the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy KG. We did some overtime, y'all, but we are out of here.